Hey there, my name is Camille Hatton, and today I'm interested in discussing the importance of decolonizing academia in order to expand inclusion beyond traditional figures discussed in the literature. I wholeheartedly believe that the plurality of ideas is essential to the development of progress. And while I can't dig into this topic too extensively in this short video, I do hope it cracks open the potential for further conversation. One of the most well understood features of academia is the notion that we are standing on the shoulders of giants. This concept creates interwoven ties throughout history. It helps justify that research sits in well-grounded, well-understood, peer-reviewed ideas, and it manages a network of authorities while making space for colleagues who review one another's ideas and hold each other accountable to the knowledge that they are disseminating. However, therein lies the rub. When observing the wide span of academia, it is irrefutable that the recorded authorities have typically been from the global north. Additionally, these giants are overwhelmingly white, able-bodied men driving the narrative and the rubrics from their position. While well thought out and designed with iterative care, the system actually suppresses and oppresses other insights. Let's just call it what it is. Systemic oppression and marginalization of people who might threaten the narrative of intentional othering and justification of global inequalities. In other words, people are pushed to the margins in the name of institutional excellence. I think we know better now and can do better.
Let our hearts not be hardened to those living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. This is where it all begins. This is how we gather in. There is room at the table for everyone.
If we return to the notion of being lifted by those giants that precede us, the elephant in the room is that many experiences and insights have been left out. Concepts have been defined through a Western, global North filter, subjugating everyone else to that same filter, and then primarily valuing everyone else by that metric. In other words, a specific population of people made the rules and judged everyone else by that set of criteria, which inherently lifted up more stories that fit their rubrics and devalued perspectives outside of those specific parameters.
Too long we have wandered, burdened and undone, but there is room at the table for everyone. Let us sing the new world in. This is how it all begins. There is room at the table for everyone.
We can begin to center stories of the global South. People with varying life experiences and people with noticeable human variances or disabilities. We can offer other truths to the Academy and begin to appropriately contextualize variations in lived experiences. In this way, we can normalize these variances without exploiting stories as narratives of exceptionalism, and we can widen the potential population of giants from whom we might be supported.
There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for
goes on. And in this way, we can begin to shift the narrative of disability and start to recognize that a disability is just a human variance that has been prejudicially marginalized. We have been an equal part of humanity since the beginning. The plurality of ideas and the advances of academia can truly be inclusive and expansive, and potentially even explosive, with a greater population of giants to give thanks to and to build ideas upon. And in this way, academia can begin to discuss decoloniality in disability studies more fully, centering the inherent worth and dignity of each person.